So let's give a warm Movable welcome to Jackie Mattia, our Senior Director of Client Strategy.
Great. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Jackie Mattia, Movable Inc.'s Senior Director of Strategy and the head of our travel, hospitality, and financial services practices. You can see a few things up here about me and my travel preferences on my Movable Inc. passport. My food preference is croissants. And I'm so excited to take a little journey with you all today to Destination 2024. On our itinerary, we're taking the scenic route, and at nearly every stop, we'll give you both a view into a key trend that's impacting the industry and its marketers, along with strategies and inspirational case studies from some of the largest travel brands in the world to help you meet that trend head on. For our first stop, we'll do a quick pulse check on the overall industry health and outlook. We'll look at the ways that brands can deliver more value to travelers beyond price and discounts. We'll identify some key segments that are poised to drive growth for the industry in 2024. We'll also look at some strategies for engaging business and leisure travelers. And then for our final stop, we'll talk about how brands can better use their CRM to prioritize their ESG efforts. For our first stop, let's take a quick look at the industry health and outlook. For the past 6 months, we've seen global travel performance consistently trend above pre-pandemic levels of 2019, and this is expected to continue into 2024. There have been some predictions that performance could soften towards the end of this year, but even if that does happen, it's expected to accelerate back up later in 2024. The data that you see up here is from Skift's Travel Health Index. It's a real-time measure of the performance of the travel industry across 22 countries, and it tracks performance of hotels, aviation, vacation, and car rentals using indicators like search traffic, bookings, and some other key KPIs. If we take a closer look at the UK specifically, aviation, hotel, and vacation rental bookings have all fully recovered above 2019 levels. What you can also see here is that flight searches, which are a great gauge for intent to fly in the future, have surpassed 2019 levels. And then searches for future hotel stays are just shy of fully recovering, but a lot of that is being made up for by the spike in vacation rental performance. While demand continues strong into 2024, travelers' budgets are expected to tighten. Inflation, pandemic savings that have now been reduced or fully exhausted, as well as higher travel prices, mean that most travelers, other than affluent ones, are seeking more value from their spend. Simultaneously, and I'm sure some of you can attest to this, travel brands are experiencing higher operating costs as a result of rising costs of labor, energy, fuel, food, and beverage. What this means is that brands need to continue innovating to demonstrate value to travelers without being able to slash prices. They can do this, and we'll talk a little bit more about these in a moment. They can do this through things like focusing on loyalty members and high-intent customers who tend to drive higher ROI, by providing value-add offerings that pair with bookings, by leaning heavily into their brand's unique selling propositions, and also ensuring that positive reviews are front and center and visible. So let's dive a bit deeper into some of the ways that brands can deliver value beyond price. In 2023, we saw some of the largest travel brands, including Expedia, Delta, IHG, and several others, completely transform their loyalty programs to better align with both customer and brand needs. As it becomes more challenging for brands to compete on price, loyalty members are going to be even more key, with 44% of them saying that they actually value rewards over lower cost. They also travel more frequently, planning over 2 times the amount of trips as non-loyalty members. And then in addition to the brand's loyalty program, they're also highly interested in co-branded credit cards to use towards their trips. So, what are a few ways that you can use email to cultivate these most loyal customers? US airline JetBlue are making their most loyal customers even more loyal through rich credit card offers, such as this 80,000 point one. And then they're using Movable Inc. to present a personalized animated calculator that does the math for the customer, showing them their current points balance and how that could grow with a co-branded credit card. They also celebrate their loyalists with a visually stunning year in review that conveys both the financial and emotional value that they get from traveling with the airline. The email is personalized with the customer's miles earned, carbon emissions that they've offset based on their unique flight selections, as well as down to the customer's seat preference. In addition to loyalists, remarketing to high-intent customers who have researched and already shown interest in your brand yields above average ROI. What we're seeing is that as customers are hunting around for more value, they're increasingly shopping around, comparing options between OTAs and brands, visiting over 141 site pages within the 45 days leading up to booking, and over 25 pages just on the day of booking. So it's more important than ever to really remarket those travelers with real-time abandoned cart, search, and browse emails. These campaigns tend to lead to above average conversion rates. Also, to really maximize the effectiveness of these types of campaigns, it's a best practice to go ahead and include imagery. 52% of travelers say that imagery in advertising significantly increases their likelihood to purchase from a travel brand. Vrbo delivers personalized abandoned cart emails using Movable Link to abandoned search emails using Movable Link to present imagery as well as real-time availability for a traveler's top searched properties. It also includes alerts when properties are nearly booked, and it also drives urgency and a sense of social proof. US Hawaiian Airlines also uses increased revenue by 6% in their abandoned browse and search emails by leveraging Movable Link to deliver real-time inventory and fares for customers for their most recently viewed route. And then they also tested a second layout by showing the customers top 3 searched routes along with live availability and pricing. So another way that brands can deliver more value is through value-add offerings. So things like experiences, dining options, and local partnerships that travelers can easily combine with their bookings. These are also a huge priority for travelers. 71% say that experiences and activities are one area of their travel budget that they're not willing to cut back on. And 81%, including me, say that dining is what they look forward to most on a trip. Global Hotel Alliance, who some of you might have seen Matt speak earlier, is inspiring travelers with personalized experience offers that customers can add to their stay, combined with beautiful imagery. So can't you just picture yourself up here in that hot air balloon against the sunset? It feels like we might be in a hot air balloon now in the room, but Movable Link is also used here to pull in experience offers direct from the brand's CMS. And then we're personalizing messaging based on the location, loyalty tier, as well as the traveler's preferences. United Airlines is driving more value for its United Mileage Plus members by providing local restaurant recommendations in the flyer's destination city, where they can also earn their air miles. Movable Ink is displaying these in a live map of locations along with ratings of restaurants. So these are just a few ways that you can deliver more value to your customer and your brand without compromising on price via email. So now let's take a look at some of the key customer segments that are expected to drive growth in the industry in 2024, and we'll talk a little bit about what appeals to each of these segments. So demand is positive across almost all segments, but there are a few that are expected to have an outsized impact on the industry or really accelerate their travel in the next year. So the first are affluent travelers. This segment isn't price sensitive. They continue to have ample disposable income and savings, as well as a strong desire to travel. Affluent travelers prioritize things like unique experiences, exclusivity, personalization and ease, wellness, and they also put a lot of stock into reviews from peers within their segment. The next are families. Families continue to drive strong demand. They tend to make multiple traveler bookings all at once. They often have longer stays, and they repeat bookings at accommodations brands. Families' priorities include things like adjoining seats and rooms, spaciousness, family-friendly amenities, as well as affordability. And then finally, pent-up demand after years of travel restrictions has built up a strong intent for domestic and international travel to and within China. Recent sentiment surveys of Chinese travelers have shown that this audience's priorities include things like local shopping, cuisine and experiences, a heavy reliance on OTAs, and social media for planning. So let's take a look at a few ways that you can appeal to each of these audiences. Expedia, that you see up here, delivered a family getaways version of its newsletter, which included recommendations for vacation rentals, all-inclusive options, and family-friendly excursions. A personalized rewards dashboard was also powered by Movable Inc., and it showed families the value of their loyalty program, and it also included a live Instagram feed to provide some inspiration. One of the amazing things about this newsletter is that content is curated head to toe based on the customer persona. So if, say, instead of families, you wanted to curate content based on another type of segment or based on travelers coming from a specific location like the UK, China, or the US, content could fully adapt based on that. So maybe instead of showing family activities, you're showing local shopping or dining guides along with a social media feed to really tailor to those themes. Using an API integration with Movable Inc., American Airlines is enabling travelers to view the number of seats that are available in real time across cabins for upcoming flights. This is really helpful for travelers with companions or traveling in groups or families so that they can choose seats together in a cabin or maybe even upgrade to a cabin to ensure that they can sit close to one another. For affluent travelers, we have a couple of treatments. So first, a personalized pre-trip itinerary notifies the traveler of ways that they can contact their on-property personal concierge. It also provides a digital key for easy access. It offers reservations at the property's high-end Michelin star restaurant. And then it also calls out luxury amenities that the traveler can book, like cabanas, right in the app. What's more luxurious than a cabana? And then in the app, in the in-app message on the right, travelers are also reminded of things like the on-site luxury wellness center and given an opportunity to book a service leading up to their stay. So let's pivot a bit and we'll talk a little bit about another group that's going to be key to engage in 2024, business and blended travelers or bleisure travelers. So business travel is predicted to continue to recover in 2024. You've probably heard some really bullish predictions that 2024 might see a full recovery above 2019 levels. There are still a few factors that could cause sluggishness. So things like the continued proliferation of virtual meeting tools, remote work, as well as more corporate sustainability efforts. When they do travel, a few things that business travelers are interested in are things like cost reduction, business amenities and services. They want to be able to use their personal loyalty accounts on work trips. And there's also a rising focus on sustainability as well as leisure for off hours. Along with business travel, bleisure is expected to continue to increase in 2024. So if you thought that bleisure was just a post-pandemic fad, it's officially here to stay. About 62% of business travelers say that they're now more frequently blending business and leisure travel. 42% add on additional leisure days to their trips. And the majority of people stay at the same hotel when they book before or after business trips. When bleisure travelers are looking for accommodations, a few things that really appeal to them are discounts and perks for additional nights, hybrid work and meeting spaces, leisure and wellness. And then when they're booking flights, they're also interested in things like upgrades that you may not normally spend on a leisure trip, as well as companion discounts and ample flight times from bleisure destinations. So, American Express is engaging business travelers with a personalized monthly e-newsletter. It's sent to its customers that have co-branded travel cards. And it's illustrating throughout all of the valuable benefits that come along with their card. So things like early boarding, a customer's loyalty status, and rewards opportunities in the travel space. Content is tailored one-to-one to each card member, so it adapts based on the type of travel card that a customer has, as well as what type of travel benefits and offers they're eligible for. And then we've got a beautiful personalized account dashboard that also visualizes a customer's spend, as well as their balance and rewards balances. Kimpton does a monthly deals campaign, and this is delivering geo-targeted property recommendations with special offers or unique selling points for each type of property. This really is letting them effectively target several different traveler personas, including bleisure travelers. So something like maybe stay longer and save, They're a little bit small, so I'm not sure if you can see them up here, but Stay Longer and Save, Prepay and Save might all appeal to business and blended travelers, while something like Better Together works well for families or exclusive experiences for the affluent. And then finally, we can also use pre-trip notifications that are delivered via in-app or email to encourage business travelers to go ahead and add leisure days or purchase upgrades on their flights. So on the left, you can see that there's an offer that's served to a business traveler. It extends them a discount for additional nights that they can book. And then on the right, business and leisure travelers can make their trip even more comfortable, upgrading for extra legroom right in the app. Did anybody upgrade for extra legroom when they came here? Great. So for our last stop, we'll pivot a bit and we'll look at a couple ways that brands are keeping their ESG efforts front and center within their customer communications. So last year at Think Summit, my session was really focused on the rising importance of sustainability and how much consumer attitudes were shifting to prioritize sustainability in travel bookings. This past year, it's become even more important. 82% of customers now say that they're likely to recommend a brand if it supports a social cause that they align with. 90% are looking for more sustainable options when they're traveling. And then 3 in 5 consumers have gone ahead and opted for more environmentally friendly options. Consumers do say that while they're intent on seeking out brands that have strong ESG initiatives, researching and finding information on these brands is a bit of a challenge. So they're really looking for brands to proactively communicate with them on ESG causes. So as you'll see in some of these next case studies, email is a great way to increase that visibility. A major sustainability issue, which I'm sure you're all aware of in the travel industry, is overcrowding of hotspot destinations and the toll that it can really take on local environments and communities. So encouraging travel to lesser visited locations near hotspots is one way that the industry is really trying to mitigate this. Hawaiian Airlines encourages travelers to spread out their travel across islands, not just the hotspot cities, via a dynamic animated map powered by Movable Ink. It shows customers personalized routes based on their location that the customer can take beyond its top cities. And then finally, Best Western is delivering a personalized postcard to its corporate partners, highlighting their annual charitable contributions at the end of the year. Movable Ink is personalizing the postcards with the corporate partner's name, their language based on location, as well as powering an engaging interactive scratch-off. So with that, I'll leave you with 3 key takeaways. The first is that to remain competitive, brands will continue to need to find ways to deliver more value without being able to compromise on price. These might include things like loyalty innovation, timely remarketing, as well as value-add offerings. Brands should also ensure that they have marketing strategies in place to engage some of these segments that have high intent to travel in the coming year, like families, affluent, leisure segments, and travelers from regions with pent-up demand. And then finally, as travelers are placing increasing importance on sustainability as well as corporate responsibility, brands should better leverage their CRM channels to really raise awareness of ESG initiatives and sustainable travel options. So with that, thank you so much for spending 20 minutes with me. I'll be happy to chat with you after this session and enjoy the rest of your Think Summit.